Hey guys, Josh here again. Welcome back to the channel. We're, like most of my videos, guys, we're starting out here in the garage, and today we are working on the 2021 MT-09. The goal today, install some more carbon, guys. I ended up with the carbon front fender after I had my original accident, and for Christmas, my wife got me some more carbon pieces from Carbon 2 Race. So today's install is going to be the headlight fairings, guys. So there's that little black plastic piece here, painted plastic, that's on each side of the headlight here. We're going to replace these with carbon fiber pieces from Carbon 2 Race. So looking forward to get that done. So in a minute I'll take you over to the bench. I'll show you the parts from Carbon 2 Race, and then we'll get into the install. Alright guys, we're over at the bench now, and here it is. I have the two side panels here from Carbon 2 Race. You can see it's that same twill pattern that they do, like a weave pattern, and they're in the glossy finish like the rest of the parts there. So and they have the tabs on the bottom just like the factory pieces do for the installation. So I'm going to get to the install here now, but it's really just taking off the windshield and stuff like that, and then underneath that windshield, once we pop the headlight off, that's where these will get screwed in. So I'll get the camera set up and we'll start getting that front part. Alright guys, so we're at the front of the bike right now, and just to take the windshield and the whole headlight shroud out, we got to just take out the 4 bolts that hold the windshield on. If you don't have a windscreen, guys, you guys will have 4 other bolts inside you got to take off. So I'm going to get those off and go from there. Alright guys, with those 4 screws out now, we should be able to just pull forward on this whole thing and it should come right off. Oh, actually, my mistake, guys, I forgot there's 2 4mm at the bottom here that have to come off too. Alright guys, now this whole thing will come right off pretty easily. And what we're going to do is just going to lean it over here for a minute, and I'll show you guys what I'm going to disconnect to get to the bits here. So, right here, guys, this is the plug for the wire for the headlight and everything that's in this, that's lit up inside this face piece. So I'm going to just disconnect this one, because then I can take this whole piece off and it'll be easier to get to the screws for the side fairings there. So give me 1 second, we're going to pull that off and then we'll be on the bench. Alright guys, this is a view of the back side of that headlight cowl piece. These are the pieces here on each side that we're replacing with the carbon fiber pieces, and it should be just this. There should be 1, 2, 3, 4 Allen screws. We got to take those out. Then we should be able to pull those parts. These parts should come right off, and then we just replace them with the new parts. I also think that there's clips on these that have to be replaced on those little tabs there. So once we get to that point, I'll show you those clips and we'll pull those off. Okay guys, I got the 4 screws out, and I think it's worth noting that the running light piece is separate from the headlight cowl. Carbon 2 Race also makes this headlight cowl, so if you wanted to replace that with Carbon 2, that would be, you'd probably look really nice. I just didn't bother going with that piece also, because with my windshield on and the side pieces, you almost don't see this piece at all, so I thought it was a little overkill to buy that piece also. So we're just going to line these 2 pieces up. Here's the fairings, the little side fairings we took off, and here's those metal clips I was talking about, guys. So we got to pull these off, and they just pull right off, just slide right off nice and easy. Just going to get that one out of the way. Same thing here. So you're going to have 4 clips in total, and then you're going to replace those clips onto the headlight fairing just like this. So, I mean, you'll see on the clips, guys, there's like a hole on one side and a little like swirl mark, or a little raised part on the bottom. That raised part goes on the bottom of the clip here, because that's the threads that are going to catch your for the screw when it goes in. So do the same thing on this one. Get that on there. And get the top one here. And then one more note, guys, is you see this little aluminum pin here. That pin is present also on the stock one, but it's plastic. Now that lines up, there's a hole on the side of the fairing here, so that pin lines up with that hole. So you slide that pin through, and then you get the holes all lined up, and then you put your screws in. So what I'm going to do is, like I do with everything else, guys, is we're going to just, and it's a good idea, we're just going to get these screws in, and we're just going to give them like a turn or two. It's still very loose, and just get everything lined up first on both sides, and then we'll go around and we'll tighten these screws up the rest of the way. But first part is to just get everything lined up. It's just easier that way, guys, because then if your hole's off a little bit, you can still move the stuff around and, you know, get everything kind of in place. And then when you're ready, you can, once you get all the holes lined up and everything like that, then you can go back and just crank down on them and tighten them up. So, so here we go. I got those kind of loose now, and I'm just going back around now, guys, and just tightening everyone up so that they're what I like to call tight. You know, tight enough that we know they're not going to come loose. I'm sure that if you went into the manual and stuff, there's probably some kind of torque spec, but guys, it's just a metal screw, a little metal screw with a little plastic tab. So you just, you know, don't crank on it, don't grab a breaker bar or put any kind of pressure on it, but just turn it, you know, tight, you know, and you'll figure that out on your own. You know, when they stop, give them maybe like an extra little quarter turn, and that's it, guys. So now all the screws are tightened down, and you can see here's the fairing from the front, but then from the side view there, you get that nice view of the carbon fiber. Here's a comparison. Actually, let me grab the same side here. Here's a comparison side by side with the black from what it looks like. You know, the carbon's got that gray carbon, you know, that typical carbon fiber look to it. So I'm pretty happy with the way it looks right now, and I think it really looks nice. So let's get this back on the bike, and then we'll do some, we'll get a final look to see what it looks like on the bike. Okay, guys, so we're back at the front of the bike now. So the first matter of business is we got to plug this light plug back in. And then what I'm going to do is you'll see this pin here. That lines up with this little rubber grommet here. So we'll get that pressed in place. Then we'll get the two lower, the little 4mm in the bottom on. The two little 4mm Allens back in. Sorry, guys. And then we'll get the windshield back on, and then we'll get a good final look at it here. So I'm just going to get this clipped here. Again, we're being delicate here, guys. We don't want to scratch that new carbon fiber bits at all. And, you know, again, I'm looking right from the top here, guys. I can see that pin, and I'm just lining it up with the rubber grommet to push it in. Nice thing is, guys, once this is in, these holes line up pretty well. The bottom holes line up pretty well. And then we're going to just grab our two bottom Allens first and get those in. And then we'll get our windshield and our spacers, get that put back on, and then we'll take a little look at it here. And again, guys, like I said in the other one, I said tight. That's kind of what I'm doing here, guys. Just, you know, I get it in and just give it another little, another little good turn. You know, not wrenching on it real heavy or nothing like that. Just a good turn to get it tight. So grab our windshield now. Bring that back over here. We got the spacers that go along with it. Need to get them. You know, and again, guys, this is the Yamaha factory screen, so I don't think when I did my accessory video, I think I already had it installed, so I didn't show you guys how to install it, but it's as easy as there's a tall spacer, there's a short spacer, you line them up, you put the 4 bolts in, and you're done. I mean, it's certainly not a very difficult install at all. So if you're doing any kind of work at all on your bike, guys, you should be able to easily get this, get one of these windscreens installed. You know, it's not very difficult. The hardest part is kind of just getting the holes lined up. But once they're lined up, it's really just, you know, grab your Allen wrench and just tighten those down, guys. One other tip, guys, too, like if you're doing a lot of, especially if you're working on like these MT-09s and other stuff that has a lot of Allen screws, you know, T-handles are a wonderful thing. I know a lot of guys do it with a ratchet, or they do it with, you know, they may have, you know, like a socket set up, or they may have just the longer bits and things like that for the ratchets. But you know, I bought these Craftsman T-handles, I don't know, they have to be 25 years ago now, guys, but I've had them for a long time, and they really make the job easier just to be able to hold one side and spin the back side of it and stuff like that. So either grab yourselves a T-handle, you know, with a 3/8 or a 1/4 inch on the end that fits your bits that you guys are using, or go out and grab some T-handle Allen keys or Allen wrenches like these, because like I said, it's nice and long, it's thin, it fits in, you know, close. Like I'm very close right here, and I'm not even hitting the windshield and scratching anything. So it's just, you know, it's just a handy tool to have and a nice thing to have in your toolbox. that does make working on these bikes a little bit easier. Okay guys, here it is. Here's the final product. There are the carbon fiber front headlight fairings on the bike. I know it's a little hard to see in here. I got the bike in the corner here because I got the Honda in the back there. That's a project we'll get into another day, but there they are, guys. Again, Carbon 2 Race. Those little carbon accents that they sell, I think they look spectacular on the bike. I really like the carbon color of them. They sit really pretty on the bike, and I'm pretty happy with the look overall of how they look. You know, again, guys, I'm happy with their products overall. Haven't had any issues, but that's the final look, guys, with the carbon fiber front fairings there on the bike. Let me know what you guys think. If it's too much carbon, not enough carbon. You know, I do have some more carbon bits going on. You can see there's some styrofoam there on the bench. There's some more stuff wrapped up in there that I'll do another install video on later. But that's it for today, guys. So, you know, hey, Carbon 2 Race makes good stuff for our bikes. If you like the carbon look and you're into getting carbon fiber for your bike, I suggest you go look them up. Listen, guys, they're in like Eastern Europe and Slovenia or something like that. So when you place your order, it takes a few weeks to get it, right? Be patient with those guys, though. They great customer service. They'll stay in touch with you, but, you know, expect a 4 to 6 week shipping time frame on that stuff, right? It gets stuck in customs, things like that. So, you know, just know you're going to wait for the parts, but know they're worth the wait because they're really nice parts. Until the next one, guys, stay safe.